Unclogging your creative flow. Gotta clear the pipes. Have you ever had a song that you've been working on for months that just seems impossible to finish? Does it ever seem like your options somehow become less clear the further you get into a project? Like the light at the end of the tunnel keeps traveling further away from you? Do you feel like you absolutely need to get this one song perfected before you can move on to the next one? Or maybe you should just abandon it completely. Has your entire creative output slowed to a crawl because you're blocked by this one fucking song? We'll be examining this issue today, and I will offer some solutions at the end of the discussion. This video is going to be another one where I'm kind of talking myself through something that's holding me back, but I think others may need to hear this same message, so I'm going to bring you with me on this one. Click off now if you're not interested in a bit of introspection. Okay, did they leave? All right, party time. When we start a project, we have near limitless options for where to take it. When it's just an idea, we can shape it into anything we want. Every time we commit to a decision, we're removing an option. There's nothing wrong with this. That's part of the creative process. In fact, I'd say that the creative process is as much about removing options as it is about creating something new. Construction through reduction. But this removing of options feels kind of shitty. At the start of a project, it feels like we have unlimited freedom. Maybe we had a specific goal that gave us some guidelines and artificial boundaries, but we could do pretty much anything we wanted. But then you start writing and a song starts to emerge. You might be excited about it when things are fresh. There's this brand new thing that didn't exist before and now it's taking shape. It's still just a framework though, so you've still got options. But then you start dialing things in. What's the tempo? What's the top line? What are the lyrics? What kind of tones are we going with? As we start locking in these details, we're restricting our freedom, and this is generally where we start to feel resistance. Have I chosen the absolute best options for this song? Is this the right kick drum? Is this the guitar tone that I want to live on this song for the rest of eternity? What if there's something better? I currently find myself at this same point in one of my own projects. I should be done recording parts for these two singles, but as I enter the mix prep stage, I'm forced to commit. Mixing isn't for fixing, and it isn't for choosing tones. All of that happens before mixing. So this is a point where we need to shit or get off the pot, as they say. What makes things a bit worse in my case is that I've had a fair amount of editing and mix prep work come across my desk at about the same time that I hit that same stage on my own project. So in the same sense that a carpenter's home is never finished, my own project kind of got shoved aside for a while to prioritize the other projects. Gotta pay the bills. Speaking of paying the bills, I should probably mention that today's video is brought to you by my own production service, Grid Fender Audio. Okay, there's my ad. So yeah, now my own project just kind of feels like old news because I'm through the fun parts and I have to do the actual work now. Ugh. I've kind of lost the excitement for it. But I still have plans for these songs that require them to be finished. So in these situations, we have three options. 1, keep fucking with the same songs over and over again until they're perfect and they're exciting again. This is the delay strategy. 2, write these songs off as a lost cause and continue on to something new. This is the surrender strategy. 3, roll up our sleeves and get these fucking songs done and take lessons from them for the next batch of songs. This is the complete strategy. The delay strategy seems to have the strongest pull. With any craft that we care to get good at, we normally start off with limited abilities. As we develop our skills through experience, our abilities expand. So it seems logical that the longer you hold off on writing or producing any given song, the better that song will be, right? You can use those acquired skills on that masterpiece that you've been holding in your back pocket this whole time. The problem is that there's a bit of a catch-22 here. We need skills to make a good production, but we need production experience to develop those skills. Working on the same song over and over and over again isn't giving us very much experience at writing or mixing songs. It gives us experience writing and mixing that particular song. We're massively stunting our growth by not finishing things. So we might progress a little bit, but not as much as we would have if we had worked on multiple songs within that same span of time. We need to stop being so precious about each particular piece of music and look at our creative output as a continuous flow. Things do go stale. A song is an artist's or a group of artists' interpretation of an idea or event that is strongly tied to a particular point in time. We look at classic songs that have been around for decades and decide that that's what we need to create every time we make something. But those classic songs are freaks of nature. I think we do our greater body of work a disservice by focusing too much on individual songs. A song is like a container for a particular vibe, emotion, or idea tied to a moment in time. By overworking that individual song, we rob it of its relevance or freshness, so to speak. I'm not saying that we should half-ass our songs or just throw them out without thinking things through. But like the old saying goes, if you shake it more than twice, you're playing with it. You have to know when the song is finished and when you're just making changes without any improvement. Furthermore, your skills will always be improving. So yeah, you could hold off on finishing the song until you're better at mixing, but in 3 years, you're going to be in a similar situation. 3 years better than now, but also 3 years shy of where you'll be in 6 years. You see where I'm getting at here? If you never finish the ideas that you start, then you're creatively backed up. You're constipated. Let that shit flow. Make room for new ideas, and over time, your collective work will improve.
Don't nobody go in the bathroom for about 45 minutes.
The surrender option is another tempting choice. Fuck it, I'm not excited about this anymore, let's move on to the next project. I'm massively guilty of this one. The vast majority of my creative work has been abandoned partway through the process as I became bored with it. It's mostly rotting away on a hard drive somewhere. Maybe it was a collaboration that fell through, or maybe priorities shifted and took me away from the project for too long. I don't know, it happens. But both the delay and surrender options don't lead me to anything beyond where I already am. I'm already extremely familiar with these options because those are the ones that I've taken the most often. As I sit here looking at these two singles that I was happy with about a month or so ago, pretty much ready to go to mixing, experience tells me that surrendering and moving on to something else will just add more scrap to the heaping pile of unfinished material that I already have. So f that. The delay option also won't work because that's just going to make things different, not better. So option 3 it is. This is where I have to commit to decisions and get these off my plate so that I can move on to the next batch of songs. I have to trust that where I am with my current abilities and skill set is the most accurate representation of these songs. The things I wrote at the time that I wrote them are as accurate and as honest as they can be, and altering them at a later point to adapt to my ever-changing tastes will only make them less honest. So I need to get these finished while they're still relatively new to me. This means removing the last few options for these songs and sending them to mixing. I just thought of this right now as I'm filming this, but it kind of makes me think of, when they're taking all the safety pins off of all the little safety flags and stuff that are on jets before they launch them, because it's like, remove before flight or whatever. That's kind of what mix prep feels like, is you're sending the fucking thing into the air and it's like, all right, I hope the motherfucker's gonna fly. Anyway, that was a random thought that I just had. So moving on. It doesn't absolutely need to be released, but it needs to be finished so that I can clear the way for the next thing and continue moving forward. I'm ready. Let's fucking go. If you're struggling to finish a project of your own, here are a few tips. 1. Set deadlines. Give yourself realistic deadlines for each stage of the production process. This will help you stay focused and avoid procrastination. 2. Break it down into manageable tasks. Don't try to tackle everything all at once. Break down the project into smaller, more manageable tasks that you can complete one by one. 3. Focus on progress, not perfection. Don't get bogged down in the details. Aim for progress. Your goal is to finish the song, not create a masterpiece. That masterpiece is in your future. 4. Seek feedback. Share your work with friends, family, or other musicians for feedback. This can help you identify areas that need improvement and give you a fresh perspective. 5. Remember, your skills are always improving. Don't wait until you're good enough to finish a project. Do you have a project that you're stuck on because you're holding yourself back from finishing it? Come clean in the comments. Let me know how you've been holding yourself back and I'll help hold you accountable. The first step to recovery is admitting that you have a problem. I just made a whole ass video about mine. Like and subscribe if you'd like more content like this. See you in the future. Okay. I think we got it.